So this is the apartment. It's the 3 floors. Each floor has 2 apartments on it. Come around here. They do have windows. All 6 of them have windows because we like fairness here. I went ahead and added some lights, but they're not really decorated or anything. So this is the first floor.
Hey,
How may I be of service?
wait
You
there.
stay right there.
I'll take care of it.
Yeah. Okay. Goodbye. All right. So this is the first floor. They all have this kind of turn situation. This is the first room. This is Mama Murphy's room right now. And over here, this is the elevator. The way that I got it to work in a 1x1 space right here was by using a pillar to glitch this rod here. Let me see if I can show you real quick. All right, so this rod right here is connected to, matter of fact, I can show you. There you go. Stop it. Get out of the way. All right. So that rod right there is connected to a small pipe and then a large pipe and then another one of the conduit node things. So it's mirrored on the opposite side, but instead of using a long rod, like the largest rod, I used a medium and a small rod and pillar glitched them where I needed them to in the floor. So that way when the elevator was placed in, it just clicks in over it and I can power it from this side right here. There's a wire right there that connects to up there, and then it also travels through the pipe out to here to this node, and then it connects up here. And this is how it powers the inside and the outside, since the elevator is technically an indoor piece and the elevator connector piece is right there attached to it. It could be pretty finicky depending on the wall type that is right next to it, but you want to make sure that you can connect something to that little notch that's on the elevator right there. And then make sure that you have something in the ground that's placed there before you place the elevator, because you cannot place something as easily unless it clicks in. So the elevator clicks in, you should usually be able to click that back in without a problem. Whereas that little node, you have to fiddle with it for a long time if the elevator's already there. You just want to make sure that it goes through the mesh piece. That way you could still see it when it peeks out up top. And then you can go upstairs. The other rooms are mirror images of the same one. I'm just going to change the floor plan for each of them. So you'll notice this one has 2 beds that are right next to each other, but not connected. Whereas the other bed that was downstairs has a gentleman laying in it, but there are 2 beds connected right here. And then some of them are just going to have single beds because obviously it's a single apartment, or if it's your personal house, it's really up to you what you want to do with the rooms. Or you could completely change the interior of the walls itself. You don't have to stick with this layout that I have for the apartment. You could change it to, if you would rather have this wall here, or if you'd rather have it right here. The floor layout, once you get all the outside walls up, should be relatively easy and click in without a problem for you. These 2 rooms up here don't really have much or anything in them, so I just placed some lights so you could see. They're all L-shaped, but again, you could change them if you really wanted to. I just wanted them all to be evenly sized. In the case of the elevator, the reason why I used this door instead of I used this wall instead of a wall that has a door placement in it is just so that I could see the elevator panel and call it. If you have this part blocked off, you're obviously not going to be able to call the elevator unless you peek in here and go, eh. I don't have time for that. I'm going to go ahead and take you down. Alright, now I kind of want to show you the details of how I did it. So all of these walls and windows are all the warehouse height. So they're all large. There's nothing different or anything about the first floor, except for right here. In order to get the windows lifted on the outside of...
Yes, ma'am.
No, no. In order to get the windows lifted a little bit on the outside, I did place a half panel, which is also where the floor, the first half floor is placed. If you try to put in a large window right here, it gave me a couple issues, like it wasn't trying to click in automatically. It might not be the same for you. Sometimes I have an easy time just trying to find the half area for this wall. But I also wanted it to be half floor, well, half wall, half window. And there's no panel that's one piece that has that. You have this where it's like a third of wall, well, a fourth of wall, and then the rest are windows. But that wouldn't meet up with where I wanted the stairs to be. So instead I just put a half wall here and then built up the windows to regular size. And then these ones right here are all the window panels. So the only one that actually has the regular windows are right here. So it's a half panel of wall, half panel window, and continuing on with half panel windows. And then obviously the top roof right here is a little bit higher because of the space for the roof. And this portion is smaller because there are half walls here that lead to the roof section that meets up with these. So these apartments obviously have a higher roof. They're supposed to be like the fancy apartments, I suppose. But their hallway is significantly smaller, which is fine. It doesn't make a difference. I have to put a rail right here. Another thing is right here on the second floor, outside, it's a full wall and a full wall and a half wall and the roofing section. Whereas right here is the full window glass, and then I placed a half wall. And I placed another full wall right here where the fences are, because the roof piece wants to meet up with the wall. It will either automatically connect to this wall or it'll automatically connect to whatever wall's right here. I didn't place these here when I first built it. Instead, I opted to just put a wall right here that I could eventually take down and use somewhere else later. So that's what I did. I placed a wall right here, connected my roof piece, put my second wall right here, and then I added the half wall right here. You could also do a full wall. Actually, I did do a full wall. I placed a half wall up there first, and then I changed it to a full wall, and then that upper section up there is the half walls, which works out a little better because it makes the metal look a little evenly spaced as opposed to having just a line right here and then it being the top section, the way that these wall panels work. So it kind of changes it up a little bit. Not too much though. And this is kind of an aerial view of it. Not an aerial view, but here you go. Get a little rounded view. There are a lot of lights in here, but it's just because of the lights that I chose to use. Again, they might not all completely stay there, but it's alright. I did create a little balcony as well because this portion is still part of the settlement right here. I just didn't want to incorporate anything into it, but I still wanted them to have access to protect the area from here. So if anything spawns out here, they could still come out along the balcony and do what they gotta do. Alright. And that is what it looks like from that side. I tried to prevent it from looking completely rectangular. I feel like the windows and the balcony section did a decent job, but again, with this portion, you can kind of add whatever you want. You could change the way the balcony looks. You could extend it out this way. You could place it somewhere completely different and build a different house. It's up to you. And that's what it looks like from this side. get back in here. Oh, one more thing. All of these little notches, this is the one that connects to the elevator again. So I just shimmied it in there. It connects to up there. It connects sideways, and I did them at a diagonal, or like an angle at the corners. That way, I use less of them to cover the whole building. So this building, to power the whole thing, aside from what's used for the elevator, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There are 8 nodes that power the whole thing. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Get out of the way. And that's all I really needed. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The first floor is mainly powered by this little node that's right here. I didn't have to glitch this in here. I just kind of slowly moved it in and it got as close as possible. And before I placed this wall, I connected the wire and the wall clicked in after. Oh, somebody's awake. And the settlers will always choose to use the stairs, which is why I wanted to build stairs as well as an elevator. The elevator is only accessible to me, and the settlers will go down the stairs.
Ain't looking for trouble.
I don't.
hope.
He just got out of bed. He's gonna end up walking around somewhere, acting like he's doing something. Oh, the elevator's on the first floor. It's a personal choice for him standing there. He's not actually stuck or anything. Actually, it might be because Ada's
come
here.
on.
What can I do for you?
That are, he's just taking a little moment to breathe real quick. All right. But yeah, that's basically it. All I'm really gonna do to it is just decorate the inside, and I'm probably gonna add some kind of apartment sign right here. But again, that's really just personal preference.